I couldn't sleep and my mind was having angry thoughts. It was a bad day. Probably one of my worst in a while. A few hours later, as I peeled the cupcake paper off my homemade banana chocolate muffin, having spent the last 4 hours writing non-stop and breaking all my usual routines, coffee, taking a shower, and warming up to a few videos to inspire me, a thought crossed my mind: you're not having a bad day anymore. And it was true. The bad day had gone away and I had this sense of peace that I haven't felt in a very long time. The difficult work situation had become a memory of the past and my state of mind felt refreshed. Writing had accidentally become therapy for my bad day and toxic state of mind. Here's what can happen if you sit down and write an 800-word article that you publish online. Unselfishness takes over. Your thoughts turn toxic when you become obsessed with your selfish situation and how it's making you feel. Writing can be therapy, and that's not a new idea. But my perspective is a little different. Writing can be therapy when you capture your thoughts and then take the uncommon step of publishing the finished article. It's the publishing part that causes you to unlock a tiny bit of selflessness. By writing for other people, you take the focus off yourself and your bad day. This process forces you to see what's happening and try to find a meaning in it that could be helpful. Even if what you write has nothing to do with your bad day, the idea that you wrote for someone other than yourself helps you take a break from the issues and unhelpful thoughts floating around in your brain and stopping you from experiencing peace and mental clarity. Take the focus away from your situation. Sometimes all you need is a change in focus. Writing does exactly that. You pick a topic and then write about it, and in the process, you forget what you were annoyed or angry about. I decided to write about Elon Musk on my bad day and the bizarre thing he said about love. Before I knew it, there were multiple browser tabs open, all focused on Elon and what he might be able to teach both me and those who choose to read the finished article. A bad day is just an extreme focus on thoughts that are unhelpful. Writing can change that focus and simultaneously change the lens at which you look at your bad day through. Fulfillment replaces negative thoughts. When you sit down and write for 30 to 60 minutes and produce 800 words, you feel fulfilled. It's a nice feeling to know you produced a piece of art that you can now share. It's hard to be angry and frustrated when you're fulfilled. The two feelings can't coexist. What works really well for me is to sit down for a whole day and write. The longer I spend focused on writing, the less the pain of a bad day or the past can haunt me. It feels good to write. It's like doing pull-ups for your brain. Turn tragedy into inspiration. A bad day is level 1 and writing can help. Level 2 is when you go through tragedy. You might lose a loved one, break up with your partner, or go through unemployment like I did last year. Writing takes on a new meaning during a tragedy. You have the opportunity to write about the tragedy you face, and that can turn into inspiration. The key to unlocking this gift of writing is to focus on one question: how can this tragic situation have one positive benefit? Write when you're having a bad day, and you'll feel much better. So next time you have a bad day, try writing 800 words and publishing them online. Writing can be therapeutic, and once you realize this, perhaps like me, you'll become addicted to it. I started writing when I faced mental illness more than 5 years ago, and it became a cure for an entire period of my life that was difficult and heartbreaking at the best of times. Writing started out as being a temporary form of therapy, and now many years on, it has resulted in me becoming addicted to its benefits and writing more than 2,000 plus long-form articles on the internet. Writing can start out as therapy. Writing can then make you feel better. And writing can even become an obsession that leads to a new meaning for your life. Writing can be therapy, and it's worth trying for yourself if you haven't already. Write when you have a bad day and watch your mood change and your life too.